Hey everybody, this will be take two. I got a notification as soon as I pushed play that there was a broadcast failure, so I hope that this will work now. So give me 1 minute to get on here and get everything settled in and pull this up on my iPad, and we'll get started because I have a few things I want to do tonight. One of the is that I want to do a really quick layout in my bullet journal for next week. I'm gonna finish, well, I think there's 2 more weeks technically of like floral stuff. Sorry, my iPad is going crazy. Like 1 more week or 2 more weeks of floral stuff. So I'm gonna do a quick week of floral in my journal because I've done floral-y stuff the last 2 weeks. So we're gonna do a quick setup in there. And that's what we have so far, these 2 weeks of flowers. And then we're gonna go into my bullet journal, or my reading journal, and set up our PBT Readathon. We'll do the week and we'll do like a Readathon setup. And that is gonna kind of go in concurrence with our new stencils. So I will show you guys the new stencils and talk about that, and I can talk about it while I'm doing this setup. But we've got a stack of new stencils. They're not in the shop yet. They'll be in the shop either tonight or tomorrow early. But we'll go really quick and start with next week's bullet journal layout, and then kind of really quickly transition into all of the cool Readathon stuff. So if you were here last week and you didn't notice, because I didn't notice until this week, I put the wrong days on my layout last week, so I had to like go back and recover all of this. And I think I want to stick with like the big fun colors, so we're gonna use this one and do kind of the same concept as this week, just with different colors. So all I'm gonna do is my same general, put my layout down, or put my anti-stencils down. This might be the last week of using these without this washi. I might need to add some more washi on the back of these because they are not sticking very well. And then I'm just gonna kind of go all over in place. It's like a lot of fun colors on this. So for this, I definitely want to pick out like fun, bright, vibrant colors. I wish there was more of like a pinkish maroon, but I think I'm gonna play a little bit with like making my own. Adding a little like red to it. And then I think I definitely want to do like a purple. So I want this like mothy purple. Mothy? That's not even a word. And then maybe just like a light pink. Maybe just do some pinks, kind of. I kind of like these 3 colors together. So let's just do that. I honestly don't even know what the normal colors of these are. So we're just going to go with what I feel like. We're just going to go with the vibes this week. And because this is kind of like a bigger flower, I do like to try to get like the best parts of the flower on here. And I'll kind of move it around. So if you're here, hi, make sure you say hey. I am kind of at the very end of a lot of stuff going on. So I feel like I'm like just seeing the end and I'm like a little hyper about this. But I'm also super tired. I had a really great weekend, but it was very fast and a little bit chaotic. I went to Cincinnati, which is like a 4-hour drive from me. And I went to a book event, a book signing by my absolute favorite author, who is Frederick Backman. He's a Swedish writer and he wrote a ton of books. You might know like The Man Called Ove or Uva. He wrote that book. It's been made into a movie, I think a couple times now, actually. Tom Hanks played him in the most recent version of it. But my favorite book of his is Beartown. It's actually a 3-book series, and I couldn't tell you which one I like the most, but because it's like the first one, I always just say Beartown because it's the one people have heard of more often. And he's my favorite author. He has a new book that was out last week, like last Tuesday. And I had actually gotten an arc of it like super early in the year. I read it in like January 3rd or 4th, and it was, other than Deep End, which has this weird chokehold over me, and I don't even know why. Other than Deep End, it's my favorite book of the year. And I've read some really good ones. And so he was doing a book tour, and unfortunately didn't come to Michigan. I don't really have a lot of vacation days. And so I was really lucky that he was in Cincinnati on a Saturday, which is like a 4-hour drive for me. But it was a Saturday, so I kind of convinced the boyfriend to do it, and we went down there. Thankfully, my cousin works at a Hilton, and so I get his like friends and family rate, and we got a hotel for like fairly cheaply, and we're able to do that, and it was so much fun. I had an amazing time, but it was like a lot. Like we went Saturday morning and got there, like checked into the hotel, and then had to like pretty much turn around and go out and go to the event space, and it was just a lot. But it was so awesome. Like, it was just so cool. I had an amazing time. He was cool. Like, I've gone to a decent amount of these, like, book events where the author will talk and somebody will talk with them, like, and ask him questions or them questions, because it's typically a woman. And, like, I'm always, like, semi-interested, and sometimes I'm more interested in the others. The last couple ones we went to have been, like, not as interested, I don't think, and I don't know, but, like, this is the first one that, like, he started talking, and I was hanging on every word. And I mean, I'm sure it was probably because he's my favorite author, but he was just super interesting, and also, like, really funny and self-deprecating, and so it was just so enjoyable. I had an amazing time. I loved it so much. But then we also, like, you know, 'cause Sunday was Mother's Day, we turned right around the next morning and came home. So it was just a lot. It was a long weekend. It was a long, short weekend. You know what I mean? Like, but it was so good. And it was, I had so much fun. It was awesome. I just loved it so much. But it also made it a really, 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 really fast and exhausting weekend. And that's on top of, like, I worked my butt off to get PVC orders. They were actually done on Friday night, but I didn't have the shipping material hadn't gotten to me to package them up, so I actually just finished them last night, and they are now in the mail. USPS has them, so if you have a PVC order, you're on your way. I do have a couple of the prizes from people that didn't have orders that I haven't got out in the mail yet, but you'll get those in the next, not shipping, I'll be getting those in the mail in the next couple days, so you should be getting those soon too. What else? But just a lot of stuff. And then I have had my stuff for the Readathon. I actually had the Readathon new stencils that you'll see in a few minutes designed since like early April, and I just haven't had time to do all the things for it, like to make listings and to take the pictures and all that good stuff, right? And so I'm finally just like forcing myself to, because the Readathon is coming up, and so now we got to do that. But I didn't want to do that until PVC orders were done, and it's just this whole like cycle of guilt as a shop owner. It's just very hard to like wrap my head around sometimes. So like, I shouldn't be doing listings if I don't have all the orders out, and if I have all the orders out, I should be doing this, and it's a little bit of a mess. And so I've been spending tonight mostly prepping that, and then we're gonna do the layout here, and then I still have to do the listing, so that'll be kind of like the last thing I do, hopefully. If this is a little bit of a shorter live, I wouldn't be mad about it, because then I can get on my computer and make the listings and get all of those up. So That's my goal. That's why I'm kind of like powering through this really fast. But please say hey and ask any questions you have. I can definitely take some time. Yeah. So the new release is going to be space themed. I loosely based it off with Monica from Peanut Butter Tacos' new Readathon. She told me she was doing a space themed one, and I started designing stuff because I like to have stuff when I lay out my Readathon stuff. So, that was kind of the inspiration behind it, but not like it's not like a one-to-one. I didn't, you know, have her design the art or whatever. I didn't use the art she used. But I kind of went with the vibe. Like, she kind of showed me stuff that, like, she was working on, and I saw, like, where her designs were going, and kind of tried to make it, like, kind of the same vibe, but, like, not totally. Like, I wanted to have my own stuff, so, it's not like it's not a match. It doesn't go with it, but it's very, like, you could definitely use it for it. You know what I mean? And I'm going to show you how, because I picked up one of her Readathon kits. She was nice enough to bring it to me from one of our silent book clubs. And yeah, I'm going to set that all up and kind of show you how I track my reading challenges or my readathons, because I know some people will do it like right in the week. I typically like to put it in the back like with the rest of my reading challenges. So I'm going to use the Galaxy stuff on the week and then like the boxes and everything. I just realized I was kind of off camera. I'm so sorry. Let me tilt this a little bit too. That's much better. I'm going to use some of like the deco and all that kind of stuff in the weekly, and then I'll use the boxes and stuff for the readathon in the weekly as well. But then I will also set up a kind of like a page in the back that's going to track my readathon, what books I read and all that kind of thing. So yeah, so you'll see that, and you'll get to see all the new stencils that I designed to help me make some of those layouts. All right, let's see. I just did that one. Let's do that nice soft pink again. So yeah, so as soon as I'm done with this, we'll kind of move over to that, and we'll get all the readathon stuff, and I will show you the new space stencils and all that kind of thing. But I didn't, like, one of the only ways I stay on top of my planner is by getting on here and going live every day, or every Tuesday. And so I definitely didn't want to not plan next week and then not have something planned out for next week. Even though I haven't been doing that great of using my planner this past like week or two. So I'm just kind of using whatever color pinks. I figured I'd go with like a pink purpley aesthetic, I guess. I don't know, for this one. Which is funny because it's the week of both my brother's and my boyfriend's birthdays. So it's like, here's some pink flowers. Have at her, guys. As I should. I think I might go with purple. I really like that purple color. One of my favorite things about when I do a floral week like this is that I can pull out some of these big flowers and just have layouts done so quickly, and so effortlessly, and they're kind of high impact. You know, you can see all the color, and you could use tons of different colors, and they're really fun to look at. These are really fast. I've been kind of going a little slower, and I definitely didn't start right at 8 o'clock, and it's only 8:16. So like, you can see how fast they come together. A layout like this. it's definitely pretty easy to set it up and get it put together and be on your way with your week. So then I'll pull this off. Got my nice little borders there. And then I can take a ruler and count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4. Is anybody here going to go wild? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I wish I was. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I really wish I was. I'm having so much FOMO. Like, I didn't think I was going to. Thought I was like, you know, had made peace with it was just too much in my budget. Too expensive for what I can do this year with all the other stuff I want to do. But as it gets closer, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. It's so hard because it's so close to me too. And like some of my good friends are going and I'm just feeling so much FOMO. I'm so sad about it. That being said, like, I also don't think I could have gotten the time off work this week because my one coworker has Friday off, and so I'm like, I'm at peace with it, but I'm just so sad. I'm really FOMOing, especially now that I'm like on this high from the Bachman event. I am just FOMOing to the John Green like so hard. That would be so cool to get to be there and be able to get the signings and stuff. I'm gonna go back with that same this is the California font from our last release, and I am just obsessed with it. Like, it's just, it might be my favorite font I've ever done. Like, even more so than the typewriter font, which is, like, up to this point, has been my favorite font for sure. Because that's just so classic and readery. But this font is just, I don't know, it's just my favorite. And now that I'm looking at it, this isn't the one I wanted to use, I don't think. Well, maybe it is. I don't know. Oh, maybe I was just going to go all lowercase. I didn't want to do an uppercase, but that's okay. And now when fonts are broken up like this, like your A, that has the little like circle in the middle, or any of the ones that have the circle in the middle, you kind of have one of two choices. You can lean into that, like break, and just leave it as is. Which if you're like okay with it looking like a stencil, like that's exactly what I would do. Or, sometimes with the felt tip pens, it gets kind of gunky writing over a lot of Distress Oxide ink, so I'm gonna switch that up really quick. Or what you can do is kind of just take your pen and like draw it in. One thing I find helpful when I'm working, and I like to use the Sharpie felt tip pens, when I'm working on Distressed Oxide ink, I try to be like as light to the, like I try not to press too hard so that it kind of floats over the surface is instead of like kind of digs in. And I find that helps with like the gunkiness of it. Okay, now I'm gonna like triple check the days, because like I said, I messed that up last time. little quick cleanup really quick here. Because we are almost done with this layout. Let me just give myself a little bit of a reset. So this is going to be 19. I'm trying to find a thicker black marker. All right. Sorry if you can hear that noise. That's our garage door opening. All right, so there is that, and I'm just gonna add in the days of the week. And every time I do this, I do my best to talk while I do it, but it takes so much concentration for me to spell the days of the week while I'm talking about other stuff. So just give me a minute here and let me input the days of the week. And so there's a really quick layout. Like we kind of lollygagged a little bit, and that was definitely less than like a 15-20 minute layout for next week. So transitioning out of that really quickly, I wanted to show you all of our new stuff and then show you a couple other stencils that you could definitely use for the readathon. So our new stencils are going to be space themed, like I said. There's several, apparently a lot of police cars. Sorry if you can hear that. There's a lot of space themed, so I'm just going to kind of really quickly run through some of them, like some space, planets, moony, and then also some like UFO type ones. So we have like the mountains and a UFO there. And then this one's really fun, and I love it a lot. It's like the galaxy. Okay, these. I can't do anything about the cop cars, sorry. And then we've got the rocket pattern with like Saturn in there. We have a little astronaut in space. Oh my goodness. And then we have I'm just gonna stop talking real quick. Okay, hopefully they're mostly out of the range of my street. It's really hot here, so it's like too hot, not hot enough to have the air on, but like so hot that you have to have all your windows open kind of hot. And so all our windows open, but that police thing was just like right outside my window apparently. So here's like a UFO floating around in space with some comets. And then we have, I'm trying to figure out which way it is. It's this way. A shooting star pattern, which is the first of two. Let me show you the other one. And then the other one is a little more like symmetrically. And then we have a rocket ship pattern, again, like more of a like cover pattern of the whole thing. And we've got some planets and the moon and stars. And then this one with like some more of the planets and like meteors. And then UFOs and alien heads. Then we've got a galaxy one. And then finally our space wreath, which will come with 2 parts. And you get like little Jupiter to insert into that. So that's all the new releases. I'm going to get the pictures edited and get the listings up. Probably after this live. I'll definitely post them in the group when they're up. But yeah, so that's that. And then also I was kind of going through my stencils And I know I didn't pull them all out, so I'm gonna grab another book. So we've got a couple different other starry ones. We've got a lot of different star ones that you can definitely use. I thought you could also use this kind of like as a meteor one if you have this one. Let's see. So many star ones. Some star ones that definitely haven't been cleaned in a while, so I'll pull all those out, like the funky stars, and then there's Starfall. So you definitely don't need the outer space stencils to use with the Readathon kit, but it's definitely a fun outer spacey addition. Some more of the star variety, and then there's the star shower pattern. Star strands, I don't know if I like that with that one, so I'm not gonna pull it out. Also, it's extremely dirty. You could definitely even use like the sunburst if you have it. I think that's all of our star. Oh, nope. The Field of Stars one. Yeah, so there's definitely a lot of options that you don't necessarily need the space ones, but the space ones are fun. So we'll use a little bit of everything. I just wanted to pull out some more options too. So let me pull over the Readathon kit. How cute. This whole thing is so cute. And when she showed me it, I was like, oh yeah, this is gonna be great. So we've got a little sticker, and these bookmarks are adorable. And I'm gonna use this to help us match, because I think actually those colors that we used are gonna work great. So I'm gonna actually pull those right back out. We use that purple and that pink and that pink. And then we're definitely gonna want more of a bright purple as well. And then I think we're also gonna want like this broken china color. And I'm trying to think, probably a cracked pistachio. And maybe a darker blue. Salty ocean. And then maybe also like salvage patina in there too. So that's going to be our choice of colors. There's a lot of them, but I think they all go kind of well together for this vibe. I think that's a pretty good approximation based on Monica's color palette. And she also gave people that ordered the first weekend these cute little stars. I need to like somehow bribe her for 4 more, because Kelly had the great idea to use those for like your star ratings on books. And I love that. I need to update my book planner. I didn't this week. So I'm like a few books behind. Oh, I guess I haven't done too bad. I just have to update the last few days. And this is this week's layout, but the Readathon starts, I think, on the 26th. So we're going to do, I need to look at a calendar. I think we'll only do the one side. So like the 26th through the 1st on this page, and then we'll start on the 2nd in June. It just won't be the same theme. So kind of looking at like the Readathon kit. These are gonna be the starting finish ones I use for there. I love that done in one day, Monica. I don't know if I even told you that. I hadn't seen that. I love that. And then we're gonna put the Readathon prompts. Actually, I could probably even do it on this page, which is kind of a thought. That might be great, but I do kind of love using like those extra pages in the back. So we'll see. But looking at her stuff, I want to kind of look and see like which elements. I really like this, goes really well with that one. So I would kind of like to at least use the rocket a little bit. I think we're going to hold off on that one. And definitely not a lot of aliens, so we won't use the alien heads. We could though use the ship. But I actually think I like the ship in the other. That would be a good one to use. That's not terrible. Definitely want to incorporate some of the stars. Although I think that one is a little more on her stars. And this UFO is a little more like the UFO. So we're going to use that one. And then we definitely have the little astronaut. And I do love the rocket. I think we'll bring in this a little bit. I'm going to skip on this one, and I do like this one as well. So I think we're going to kind of use elements of different ones, and because the colors are so bright, we're going to kind of mix and match them. So, trying to think, the other thing I wanted to do before I did this is pick out what color numbers I'm going to use. I could definitely use, that's a pretty good one. And what I could do for this is pick out the days of the week, like Pink Monday. I could use that green for Tuesday. That's definitely good for Wednesday. Thursday, maybe purple. Friday in the blue or the teal. Saturday is either of those. And then Sunday, yeah, I think we could get a good cross-section of colors with that. Ooh, or we could do this one, but I think, yeah, those are all, you would have to use that same color. Do you want to do any other colors instead, though? It's not too dark blue. Could use the purple, but I don't think I feel that very much. I definitely need more color varieties in those numbers, so we'll stick with doing that. I wanted to kind of have an idea of what colors I wanted to use. Okay. So, excuse me. Whew. When I am doing this, especially in this one where like I have less of a pattern and more of I want to bring in some elements of stuff, I think I'm actually going to use one of these patterns on the Readathon kit, and so I'm going to kind of pull back on using that for here. I actually really like this pattern. Or do I do a pattern on this one, like this pattern, and then on the Readathon do the elements? I think I like that better, actually. So let's pick a pattern we want to do. I actually kind of like the rocket ships. Like, I think that's a fun... Okay, we've got Saturn and Sun, the shooting stars and everything. I think that's what we'll do. We'll do the rocket ships here as like our pattern, and then in the back we'll use elements of these and kind of build like a fun thing with all the different prompts and everything. All right. So the first thing I'm gonna do is washing my stuff down. And I think because we're using a pattern, I'm gonna be more like playful with all the colors. So let's, I think what I'm gonna do is kind of do, if you've been in our lives before, you've seen how we do kind of like, I call it like a watercolor effect, where I will just kind of put some colors around and kind of swirl them all together, and it'll like have kind of a fun, I don't know, painty effect. So we're going to try to do that and see how that works for this. If it looks awful, I will move to the other page for this. But the only thing is that when I usually do this, it's in a very big area, like they're big boxes, so there's a lot of room to work with. So we're gonna have a little bit of a learning curve here, I think. and some of these smaller are just going to be one color, and that's just going to be how it is. I think I'm going to start with like groups of the same kind of colors. I'm going to start with all the blues and greens. And almost kind of make it more gradual into the next one. I am being like a little light with the darker colors though, because I want it to be like springy and fun, if that makes sense, which it probably doesn't. But I think this is the best way to get kind of that like galaxy type look here, this technique. So we're gonna play with it and see how it goes. Excuse me. So as I'm getting like lower on the number of inks I have left to use, I'm being a little more conscious of to go in and kind of fill in more of these holes where there's a lot of space. But I definitely still want to like leave some space for the last couple colors too. So like this is when I'll start kind of going over other colors and letting them blend together more and kind of forcefully getting this color in some way, somehow. And you'll also find that like the pink will start to blend, like the blues and the greens, into like a purple and this and that. And then I think the last color I'm going to use is this light pink, and this is going to be the one I kind of blend with it. Just to make sure I get all of those spaces, and you'll see like I'm kind of pulling the ink off of the surrounding part of the stencils, and that'll let me blend in some more color and give us like definitely a variation of color too. And you can definitely peel this back and kind of look and see, and I think we did a really good job of incorporating those colors. But what I didn't really want to do is have this line here. I wanted to kind of fade it out, but I kind of lost track of that as I was going. So we are gonna just kind of playfully like imagine a little more in here. I'm just taking in some of these bigger elements and giving it more of a blended look, because I kind of wanted to fade it out, and then I didn't because I just got distracted. So I'm going to do kind of the same thing right here. And then I'm just going to kind of arrange this so that we've got a little room here, and we can kind of do the same thing we just did. And the one thing I will say is if you're going to do this and blend these colors, I would definitely recommend cleaning your stencil in between, because I'm getting a lot more mixing than I like at first. So I'll show you how I can fix that a little bit. And that's just by taking some of these brighter colors and kind of pushing down on them a little more. And let's just add the top to this guy right here. And then what I think I'm going to do is actually just do on the other page kind of more of a spacey and that's where I think I'm going to actually just play my TBR. So I think I'm just going to do shooting stars actually. I think that'll be cute. Now I can't find them. Hey Cynthia. I am working on my Readathon week. How are you doing? And I think for this, I'm going to kind of like definitely not do all of them. And I want it to be like a lighter color, so I'm just going to stick. No worries. I'm trying to be very fast tonight because I am exhausted. I have just had a long couple weeks. And I'm like the very tail end of it. And my motivation is definitely like flagging. I just wanted to like get on here and do this. I've been looking forward to kind of having this readathon week planned, but I'm tired. So it's gonna be a short night for me, hopefully, ideally. I'm doing good. I had a good weekend, but I'm just tired. Like, I'm so tired. I had a long weekend. In a good way, but it was long. Did you have a good Mother's Day? So I'm just kind of adding in a little bit of stars. And again, this is going to be kind of my TBR planning or my planning. So I just want it to be very light and just kind of have the stars in the background, but not necessarily be like overwhelming. We definitely need to rest for vacations for sure. I feel like I never really rested from my Florida trip because like I came back and it was like right into PBC, and then that's right into fulfilling orders from PBC and right into this, and it's just like nonstop. And then I went, like I said, I went to Cincinnati this weekend, and that was a very quick trip, a lot of fun, but very quick. And so it was like very turnaround, quick. So at the beach, that sounds so nice. I want to go back to the beach. I haven't been in a long time. I was there last month. I think I just never really thought about like how much I miss it when I'm not there. All right. I think I'm going to use, like I said, I'm going to use this page for It Rained. Aw, that's a bummer. I don't think there's a, like, readathon planning. So I'm just going to write it. Oh, there's a readathon planning. Oops. We'll just, you know, kind of add that in there. The thing is, I'm a mood reader, so it's very hard for me to see the largest rubber duck. That's cool. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 8, 7. It was windy to topple over and rip. Aw, that's sad. Okay. So I'll just use this page to kind of like put ideas for books that I want to read for that. And then this page will be my actual just weekly. And let's get the stickers on that page. 26th. I'm gonna kind of skip around the sheet to get the days of the week kind of in the right colors. Tuesday. Let's see, it's May, right? So there's 31 days. I feel like I don't even know what month it is. This is really bad. I can't believe it's already, well, that's not, it is kind of almost June. I can't believe it's almost June. That's wild. Wednesday. Thursday. When is it Pink Friday? Do we have a Pink Friday? We do. How do you keep with the two-area books when you're out and about? I really don't. I try to put them on, like, ones that I, like, physically buy. Hey, Katie. Ones that I physically buy, I feel like I'm better at keeping track of them, but, I really don't. I just kind of try to remember what I have. It's not a very good system, to be honest. So there is the Readathon week, and then I did the extra page of that month to do Readathon planning, which I don't typically do, but I might just jot down some books. And then I will use kind of like the SuperNova Readathon starts here. And I think it's through the 1st, but I could be wrong, so I'm not going to put the ending one. Let me go out of here real quick and check it. So I can't see comments for a second. Yeah, June 1st, cool. Nope, this is the wrong live. I just went into the wrong live. Multiple copies of the same book. I totally do too. I definitely have multiple copies of the same book, and that's, you know, a terrible, terrible thing to have. I just try to, I'm going to do Readathon planning here, because that's what we're doing. And then I think I'm just going to put the TBR planning. Kind of like, no, we'll use it on the thing. Make TBR 3, 2, 1 blast off. We'll use kind of in the corner up here. And then hopefully we'll use mission complete there. Reading finished prompts we'll use on the planning page. Reading sprint. And we will add in a few of these stars here. But I want to save some of them for the other page too. So let's see. I'm going to see the other stickers and see if there's any. Well, there's a lot of stars, so I can definitely use more. I am going to put the weekend sticker kind of here, although I feel like I'm going to end up needing it. So I'm going to put it down here, actually. Let's put a little astronaut. He's fun. He's going to go in between books. I like to try to like really get, oh, there's a lot of it. Shoot, there's a lot of them. Okay, cool. So we can do some over here too to kind of tie them together. I definitely want a little alien floating around too. These stickers are so cute. I had seen them, but I don't really like look super close to them. At them. I love it. Okay. So that'll be our planning page, and then the week of. And then let's go to the back, and I'll use that for my actual readathon page. Just because I have all these fun things in the back, I might as well use them. All right, we can put these aside now. I haven't done my May monthly yet. I think I'm going to do a full monthly. Oh, that would be fun. That sounds like a great idea. If I had had my stencils done early enough, I would have. And or would have remembered and not done my monthly, I would have done that too. I think Kelly did that too. Okay, so I'll definitely use these week of for my start to finish. And I'll probably mostly use those too. And then also this one. So I think what I'm going to do is kind of incorporate these boxes. And then I want to do, we already used this one. I kind of went through some of the new stuff coming out, Katie. A lot of these are new stencils that I'm using. And I'll run through them again at the end as well. So these are two of them. These are the ones I used in those past pages. And then this stuff will come out, if I'm off here really early, I'm going to do the listings tonight. If not, they'll be tomorrow. But I'm going to try to get them shipped out like by Friday if you order like tonight or tomorrow. So that hopefully you can have them the middle of next week. My ink pads tonight. Oh no. Okay, let's see. These are flowers. That is not part of them. I'm just trying to decide what ones I want to use. Oh, I do love the little rocket ships. They're fun. There's a lot of fun ones. But I think what I'm going to do is, instead of doing like a background, actually, what would be kind of cool is to do this rocket ship background and then do the other elements. Like, I'm going to do this rocket ship in like a really light gray. I think this sounds good in my head. I don't know if this is going to work, but it sounds good in my head. So we're going to try this. Let me find a clean brush so I can go really light gray. Like, if I feel like if I do this like really fun light pattern, then I can kind of go over everything else, put my SuperNova stuff down, and then stencil like all the different little elements around it. So we're gonna try this. I've never done this. But like almost like so light that it's like barely there, kind of. Like, I want you to know it's there, but like just barely. Yeah. I'm not even sure you're picking this up on camera, to be honest. Oh yeah, it looks like you can. So I'm using a clean brush. I'm not really putting a lot of ink on it. But I'm kind of giving it a good press each time I go into a new. And the reason I'm doing that is because I want to have a pattern on this page, but I don't want it to be too overwhelming because I also want to bring in a lot of little elements. We got new cards. Yay! That's cool. I'm excited for you. Did you have a good Mother's Day? I'm like trying to figure this out in my head, and I'm like trying to keep conversations, and I feel like I'm all over the place. Sometimes I come into these and have like very clear ideas of what I'm doing for all of it, and then sometimes I'm like right now where I'm like, we should try this thing that I've never done before. But I actually kind of like it because I think it'll be a good, not too dark and not too light, like median compromise. Compromise is a good word. I am like super exhausted today. I can't wait to be done, to get listings done, and to honestly probably go to sleep a little earlier than I usually go to sleep. It was a really great weekend, but it was really exhausting. It took a lot out of me. Okay, so I laid this like really light base of the rocket ship pattern. And then what I'm going to do is now I'm going to take my Readathon stickers and kind of set them up so that I can kind of see what's where and what space I have, because I have a lot of elements from all these different stencils that I want to bring in. Like I really want to bring in this really cool Saturn and the Earth and like, you know, the meteors and the astronaut and all that. But I want to make sure that I have like enough space for the Readathon stuff. So let's put the title up top. Took myself on a craft shop, yay! On Saturday afternoon, and then did a bunch on Sunday, and we took the little kids to the playground with the oldest and the field hockey, yeah. Then everyone went to Joann. I need to go to Joann Fabrics before it closes. I think maybe tomorrow I'll go. It's gonna be so sad. Like, that's so annoying, because it wasn't like doing bad, and now it's just closing because I don't even know. It makes me so mad. I need to go before it ends, or before it like closes for good though. I'm still really bitter about this. Okay, so I like to do kind of like layer the boxes, but I don't want to make it too. I did print out all the book covers for everything you read. Nice. I need to, I would like to do that. I just feel like I don't know where I'd put it. Like, where are you putting them? I just feel like I need to go in there one time before it closes. Like, I don't even know that I necessarily want or need anything, I just feel like I have to go in and be like, goodbye. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, if I can pick up some great deals, that would be amazing, but I don't know. These are all much, like, much longer prompts. I should have put these on top. You ordered the cute little boxes to store them. Oh, the like Kelly has? Is that what you're talking about? Oh, these cute little boxes. I thought you said the cute. I was like, which boxes is that? Reading is hard for me today. Like I said, it was a long weekend. It was a good weekend, but it was long. Varied inventory. I'll have to look. I mean, my problem is I have gone on this book buying binge. And, like, when I say binge, I mean I am out of control. Like, I intentionally started on Independent Bookstore Day. I'm so sad that Joann's is closing. I intentionally started on Independent Bookstore Day. I knew I was going to do that. 2 or 3. Oh, okay. Got it. Yeah, I think those are, either if it's not, it's very similar. I intentionally started on Independent Bookstore Day. I knew I was going to do that. I had money put aside for that. And then, and then I was like, oh, what's another one? What's another one? This book's support independent bookstores, right? Like, and then I kept buying them. And then, so I went to the Bachman event on Saturday, which was amazing and incredible. But, like, Tuesday, I got a thing that said he was only signing the new book. And, like, it would be pre-signed, and you could get in a line for personalization and take, like, a candid pick or whatever. Well, so I was really upset because I really, like, Beartown is my all-time favorite book. I wanted it signed so bad. And then I, like, had been looking and, like, signed online. Like, the cheapest I found was, like, $100. And I'm like, oh, my gosh. I just want a Beartown. And it's so bad. All right, let's do finished prompts down here in a cutesy little box. And then we'll use the rest of the space for stenciling. So I just really wanted a Beartown signed, like, so badly. Well, then I get to the event, and I was like, I'm just gonna bring one just in case. Just, you know, maybe. And so I get to the event, and, you know, it's pretty clear that they're, like, strictly going by this, and I'm like, okay, bummer. And I'm, like, looking online for the different, you know, can I find a signed one? Can I just, like, buy myself one? Well, then, I come to find out they actually did have signed backlists to buy. And so it was like, I was sitting in the very back, like, I saw this stack of his backlists, and I, like, asked Leia, I was like, is there any chance that any of those are signed? And, like, there were hundreds of books stacked up. And she's like, oh, yeah, they're all signed. And I was like, oh, okay, this changes everything. And, like, I ran up right before it started, and I, like, grabbed a hardcover Beartown. I was like, I need this, I need it. Like, but as I'm, like, trying to decide, like, do I splurge and get the entire series in paperback because they don't have the other two in hardcover? Or do I just get the hardcover Beartown because that's, like, my favorite book and this and that? He comes on. So I'm like, okay, I have to run. I'm just getting the signed one, or the hardcover, just so I have one. Then I'm, like, sitting there, and then at one point he was like, I don't know, this could be my last book. And I was like, oh, no. So then I went back after I already had the hardcover signed one and got the whole series in paperback signed. So that was 4, plus, of course, the actual signed new one that we got. But then, like, as I was sitting there, I was like, wouldn't it be cool to have, like, all of my favorite books signed? Oh, and also I've been, like, on this pre-order binge, too. I have so many books pre-ordered and, like, signed editions coming. So then, like, at the thing, I was like, oh, on Honeymooners, I need it on Honeymooners. So I found somebody that was, oh my God, selling, like, a bookstore that was selling signed on Honeymooners. So I bought one. Well, then the next day, I see a special edition of the Unhoneymooners that is also signed. So I bought that too. It's just really bad. I've just been on a, I don't need to buy craft supplies because I have a lot of books coming. But it's like my last Joann's purchase. I feel like I need to do something. Yeah, I need to go there before they close for sure. It's so bad, Cynthia. Like, I have bought so many books. It's ridiculous. The other thing I need to do is clean off my bookshelf so I have a place to put them. It was super fun. I loved it. I also, like, the Bachman event was, it was so good. I'm so happy. Even though it was a pain and it was, you know, 4 hours each way, it was so good. Like, so good. And I'm so happy I went. Especially if he is truly done. And, like, I would never have had another chance. And he was super nice, too. Like, I'm not a big... When I'm in, like, the signing lines and stuff, I get so nervous. I usually hide behind my friend Kelly because she's a talker. And, I usually just let her talk and kind of, like, sneak in and, like, slide my book in to be signed while she's talking. Like, let her have, like, a double time. I just don't like it. But, of course, like, I was with nobody at this signing. And so, and, like, he, like, makes no secret that he's, like, very awkward. And, like, that was one of the reasons he said, like, this might be his last book. Because, like, he's like, I'm not suited to this. I am not suited to big tours and meeting people. Like, I like being at my house alone. And so I was, like, very convinced, like, I was gonna go up and be like, yeah, I don't like talking to people either. Can you just sign my book? Like, I don't want to talk. And then I, like, hear him, as I'm like in the room, like, the line took forever to meet him. And I hear him say something about the Red Wings, about him liking the Red Wings. And so I'm like, okay, well, now I have my in, right? Like, now I know what I can say. And so, like, I got there and I was like, well, I was gonna not talk, but I heard you say you like the Red Wings. And he's like, oh, yeah, they used to draft all the Swedish players. And I was like, yeah. And then we won a cup. So then I, like, talked to him. I was like, I've drank out of the Stanley Cup. Like, it was so funny. I was such a goober. Yeah. Like, as soon as I was, like... Monica could tell you, like, I was, like, texting her, I was texting my boyfriend, I was texting my best friend, Alex, like, what do I do? Like, I got the hardcover, but do I just get the whole series? Like, I mean, it's my favorite series, like, what do I do? And, like, my boyfriend's like, you tell me to get golf clubs all the time, I'm not telling you not to get this. And I'm like, yeah, but I tell you to get golf clubs because you won't do it. If you don't judge me for doing this, I'm gonna do it. Like... What's the difference? And of course, like, my friends were like, do it. Of course you gotta do it. Like, oh, so I did it. It was crazy. It was so fun. Like, I'm so glad I went. I had the time of my life, even though I was alone, which was really sad. I did not like being alone. But I had so much fun doing it. It was fantastic. And I definitely, if you get the chance to see your favorite author, you have to take it, no matter how scary it is. Because he was just phenomenal. It is good to go alone sometimes. I will say, like, I wish I had a friend, though. Like, it would have been more fun to, like, take all the pictures and, you know, not sit by myself as I'm waiting. Alright, so there's our readathon week. Or setup. And, let's see. Go back here and add a little bit more of our stickers. It is good to go alone sometimes. I will, like, I'm super glad I went. I'm super glad that I didn't let the fact that nobody else was going kind of like deter me. And especially, like I said, if he's done and I hadn't gone, like, I would have been so upset that I didn't take the chance. You know what I mean? When I had it. All right, so we're going to leave the rest of the stickers to kind of plan with as the week progresses, but that is our readathon week. I was brave. I pulled out my Gryffindor for a minute. Okay. So like I said, we'll leave the rest of those stickers to plan with as the week goes on and as I kind of see how much I read and all of that. Hopefully I'll be on a good pace. I think once I finish the book that I'm reading right now, which a little bit of a cheat I'm doing. If he's done, you can say I saw him. Yeah, exactly. And I met him and he was a super nice guy too. But he was kind of like, I say that, like, he put something out. He was like, I said something like this could be my last book, but, like, it's not that dramatic. Like, it might not be. I just feel like if it is, that's okay. So, a little bit of, like, a backtracked on it a little bit, but, he was kind of like, I just feel like in a place where, like, if it is, like, if I just feel like I can't do it anymore, like, he's like, I'm always going to keep writing. It's just whether I feel able to do, like, all the other things, deal with a publisher and go on a book tour and all that kind of stuff. So, which is totally fair. 100% get that. Okay. So before I get off of here, which I am going to get off pretty quickly because, I want to spend a minute and update my book planner and also get off of here and get, take some pictures and then get off of here and get listings up. So, that's all the readathon stuff. Almost finished with class. Yay! That's exciting. When does your class end? I'm assuming like end of May or middle May, maybe. Okay. So, new stuff that'll be released. Hopefully I'm gonna get them out tonight. That's my goal. Like I said, I'm gonna spend another like couple minutes here, taking pictures of stuff. And then I'm gonna get listings up. I will post them in the group as soon as they're up. If you order like tonight or tomorrow, my goal is to have them out by Saturday at the latest. Even potentially Thursday. Maybe we'll say Thursday at noon as the cutoff for getting them out. And if I get them out by Saturday, you should hopefully have them by like mid to early next week, so you can plan out your readathon if you want to use them for the space readathon. So I'm just gonna kind of flip through some of the patterns, some of the planets and moon patterns. Here's a really fun galaxy one. If you're a UFO person, there's a UFO pattern. And there's also this really fun, like, two-piece, kind of more of a scene UFO one with mountains. And the mountains are really fun, too. You could even just leave the UFO out of it and have a nice, cool mountain one. There's a rocket ship pattern. That's what I use in the background of that one. Two different shooting stars patterns. They have a little bit of a different vibe, so you can choose one or the other. And then again, another rocket. That's the pattern we used on our week. And we have little astronauts with Saturn and some stars. And then the UFO pattern. We have little alien heads. And then another like outer space pattern with some planets and some meteors. And then this is our space wreath. It comes with a little Jupiter insert. I don't really want to pull it all the way off, but you can kind of see it there. That goes like up here. And it gives you kind of like the lines to make it look more like Jupiter. Or you could use it without that and make it like Mars or something else. And then lastly, this one's really cool. I really like this one. It's our space heart. So all of those will be released either tonight or tomorrow morning. And I will post pictures and stuff in the group when they are. But yeah, I'm gonna hop off here really fast. So thank you guys for being here. And I don't know where my bullet journal is. Here is the weekly that we did really quickly. It's one of the last Floral May ones. And yeah, so that's what we did really quickly. Kind of set them all up pretty fast. Yeah, I'm loving all of them. I can't wait to get them out. Like I said, I'm going to set them up and get them out. Get them up tonight, hopefully. That's my goal. I'm going to take my computer down to my room, put some TV on, and bust out all those listings. And then my goal is to get, like, if they're ordered tonight, to try to ship them tomorrow. Or, I mean, get them completed tomorrow night and ship them on, what's tomorrow, Wednesday? Thursday morning, Thursday. I'm going to try to do, like, a day turnaround on these orders for, like, the first few days. So, if you want them for the readathon, definitely try to order them as soon as possible, and I'll try to get them out for you as soon as possible. Ooh, I just found, I think this is from SGS. I found these little tabs. They are from SGS. From Kobo and Lucy, and they, like, fit the readathon colors so perfectly. Oh, that's so fun. Anyway, yeah, so I'm going to try to get these out, like, early, especially if you're like, okay, I want to use these for the readathon. Let me know in, like, order notes. That would be great, and I will get them out, like, as soon as possible. Because I am at, well, I have 2 Etsy orders to finish, which I'll probably be finishing tonight, and then, I'm at 0 orders, so I'll be able to turn these around really quickly. So, yeah, but if you're not going to use them for the readathon and you don't care, then you can definitely wait. Yeah, have a really great night, you guys. Thanks for being here. I hope you guys both had a great Mother's Day, and I will be, I think, live next Tuesday. I don't think I have anything coming up, so I'll be live next Tuesday. Good night.